Hey everybody, welcome back to T. Roy Cooks. I really appreciate it. We're doing a Lobel's natural prime brisket for you today. And you may ask yourself, what is natural prime? Well, the USDA marks it as prime because it's got abundant marbling. And this is different than your regular corn-fed beef. Again, natural, if you weren't aware, natural is cattle that were raised in a natural environment, okay? They've got acres and acres of pasture land to roam around on stress-free. They've got plenty of clean water. They've got an all-vegetarian diet. The cattle were not injected with anything. They don't have any hormones in them. They don't have any subtherapeutic antibiotics in them. These are cattle that were just raised in the natural environment, folks. So it's very healthy meat for you, okay? If you're into the natural side instead of the corn-fed beef, this is for you. And I'm going to be cooking this on my Yoder Wichita. So I've got my Yoder Wichita getting fired up back here on the outside. And I'm going to do a mixture of mesquite and pecan wood. So we're cooking over real wood. And also, I'll tell you what, for the recipe, I think last time I did a Texas brisket. This time, I decided to check out the Lobel's website. And if you weren't aware, you know, Lobel's has superior products. They've also got superior recipes on their website. Y'all need to check that out. I'll put some links down below in the description box. Y'all be sure and check out those links. But I'm going to be doing this recipe for brisket, and this is a Lobel Family recipe. You know it's going to be fantastic, folks. Let me show you this brisket. Now, this is that natural prime beef. See, it's a Lobel's natural prime beef. Fabulous brisket. Nice fat cap on it here. And the butchers there at Lobel's, they've got this trimmed up really nice. I mean, marbling, folks. Just look at that beautiful marbling on that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what you want is like a 1/4 inch fat cap on here. That's what they've done. They've already got this trimmed up for you, really nice. I'm not going to have to do anything to this. All I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to take this out of the cryovac bag, just give it a quick rinse, and then I'm going to pat it dry, and we'll throw some rub on it. So, I got a little bit of Worcestershire we're going to throw on there. You can use some oil or just water, whatever you want to use. I'm just going to use a little Worcestershire, put on there. It's going to help that rub adhere. Okay, give that a nice rub down there. And I'm doing the fat cap side first because I'm going to cook this brisket fat cap down. I know I usually do fat side up, but we're going to do fat side down this time. Boy, look at that. That's some tender beef right there. And this is the rub. It's a rub and a sauce, mopping sauce that the Lobel family has put together. This has your regular brown sugar, salt, pepper, garlic. It's got a little cayenne in there, a little margarine, a little allspice. Again, check the link down below for the entire recipe. We're just going to kind of go with this real quick. And you don't want to go super heavy with it. Just something like that. Give it a nice pat down like that. You don't really have to rub it in, even though it is called a rub. You don't want to, if you get some little pockets, you want to try to get it out of that pocket so that it's not just sitting there caking up. And you know, get the sides real good. So let me get this finished up. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side as well, and we'll meet you back when we're putting it back on the Wichita. I just put this brisket on. As you can see, I'm going fat cap down. I've got a pan of water here on my firebox end. And the reason I did that, I don't really think I need to, but sometimes with brisket, if you're cooking like in an offset, you want to try to provide it with a moist interior or moist environment. So that's my thinking anyway. But this natural prime brisket from Lobel's is it's really marbled, and you know, it's I know a lot of you haven't really had Wagyu, but the fat on Wagyu is just very tender, and it's almost the same with this. I mean, it's really super tender fat. It's not your hard fat. So again, the butchers at Lobel's did a fantastic job trimming this up. I didn't have to trim anything on it. I'm gonna go ahead and put that lid down. It's about 7:30 a.m. and this is about a 9-pound brisket or so. So we're gonna see how long it takes to cook this brisket. I'm gonna be cooking at about 250 Fahrenheit most of the day. And again, if I forgot to mention, I'm using a mixture of mesquite and pecan wood. So it should give it a really good flavor. Just mesquite's a natural down here in Texas. You get brisket down here in Texas, it's going to be cooked with mesquite or post oak, depending on what part of the state you're in. But I like pecan with beef. Pecan tastes really good with beef. And let's see what else I was going to mention. Something else I was gonna let you know about. Oh, I know. When the stall starts happening, which is usually about 160 Fahrenheit internal, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it, I believe. I'd rather wrap it with some butcher paper. Hopefully I still have some. Butcher paper works a lot better than your tinfoil. So I'll probably do that, and I'll probably throw a meat probe in it when I start putting the mop sauce on there. And again, man, check out down below the description box. You can find these links. This mop sauce, again, is part of this recipe for the Lobel family recipe for doing brisket. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we'll bring you back here in a little bit. We'll start mopping it, and then we'll wrap it and throw the temperature probe in there so we keep an eye on it and stuff. We'll be back. Let's go ahead and check on this brisket. See that jiggle? I love that jiggle. It's been about 3 hours now. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my probe here so we can measure some temps like that. And then let's see here, I've got this meat probe. When you're doing the meat probe, I've had questions about this. Basically what you want to do, you want to stick this point in. I mean, it reads usually like that end of the probe, the very end. That's where it reads from. So you want to try to stick that down into the center, deepest, thickest part of the meat. So usually what I do, I'll take and kind of measure. Like I'm gonna stick it in an angle here, so I'm gonna try to measure like that, and put your thumb where the surface is like that, and that way when you go in, you've got a pretty good idea that you're in the middle. And what you want to do is make sure you don't hit any bone, and try not to hit any fat. It's difficult not to hit fat with a brisket because this thing is marbled like crazy, man. But anyway, try to get it in the meat itself, not the bone or the fat, if you can. Time to mop it too. Went ahead and prepared this mop, and I think I mentioned we're 3 hours into the cook now, and I went ahead and prepared this mop according to the Lobel family recipe, and we're just going to mop this on real quick here. And I made this mop probably a couple hours ago, and the flavors have just kind of been sitting mingling, so this should be good, real good, folks. Oh yeah. Mop it on there, folks. And we're going to try to mop it about every 30 minutes or so going forward. I'm still maintaining about 250 on the cook, 225 to 250 Fahrenheit. So we're looking good. We'll be checking on it here in a little while. This is where we're at 7 hours in. As you can see, it's looking gorgeous. I've been mopping it every half hour, and I just pulled the probe out. You can see a little juice coming out right there where I pulled that probe out. But I couldn't find any butcher paper, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it in some tinfoil and throw it back on here. I'll put a little bit of, I got a little bit of that mopping sauce. We're going to throw some of that in the foil and just kind of keep it moist. But we're going to throw it back on there with some tinfoil around it, and we're going to let it finish cooking, folks. We'll pull it off. I'm shooting for about 198, 200 Fahrenheit, but we'll actually unwrap it, and that's when I'll bring you back when I unwrap it, because I like to unwrap it about half hour or so before I think it's going to be done. And that way that it gets the bark on the outside looking nice again. So we'll meet you back when I'm unwrapping it. Hey everybody, I apologize, it's raining right now, so I'm trying to show this to you, but it's 196 internal temperature. After I wrapped it, I raised the temp on the pit to about 275. We've been cooking, it's 9 hours in right now, so total of 9 hours, that's what it looks like. And again, the fat cap was up. I'm fixing to flip it back over again, and we're going to finish cooking it. Going to finish cooking it with the meat side up. I was getting tender in it. Anyway, we'll be back here very shortly when I bring it inside, and we'll show you slicing it up. So that brisket cooked for 11 hours, and I let it rest for 2 hours. We're fixing to slice it up. Y'all check this out. That thing is jiggly goodness, y'all. Here we go, folks. I'll tell you what. Look at that jiggly goodness right there. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so good. All right. I'll slice her up. Nice. Real nice, folks. Oh yeah. Look at all that juice. Oh my gosh. Karen, you should see this. Oh,
I can't wait to eat it.
that is so good. Oh,
Looking
man.
at it only goes so far, babe.
Yeah, I know. All right, let me cut the middle of it here. Yeah, cut it about here. Okay, bring that to the side there. Just give y'all a little shot of goodness right there. Oh yeah. All right, and here's the point end here. See all that juice is coming out of there. Lord have mercy. Now, do the bend test. The bend's fine. Do the pull test. Oh yeah.
Taste test?
Oh yeah, taste test. Go for it, Karen. Nice smoke ring on it. My goodness gracious. All right, let me set the camera up. We'll, you enjoying it, huh, Karen? Let me pick the camera up. We'll taste it on camera. Tell you what, folks, y'all check that out. Look at that smoke ring on that. Juicy, tender, just falling apart like that. That's the way a brisket should be, folks. All natural, folks. That's good.
It's delicious.
Yeah, Karen had some too. It's really good, folks. Super tender, super juicy. USDA prime. All natural. It doesn't get any better than that.
Barbecued in Texas.
That's right, man. And I'll tell you what, that mop sauce and that recipe for the rub, y'all gotta check that out, man. Again, Lobel's not only has superior products, they've got superior recipes. Y'all go check it out, lobels.com. Follow the links down below if you would, please. I gotta thank again Lobel's for sending this to me, and it's a fabulous recipe, and this beef is always fabulous from Lobel's, as y'all know. Appreciate y'all watching. If y'all like this, y'all give me a thumbs up, and by all means, if you do like the video, I hope you share it. When you do, please tell all your friends. T-Roy cooks responsibly. We'll see y'all next time, everybody.